So first I want to share with you a story about my own experience receiving, just to show you how emotional and moving it can be and how that's totally normal, but it comes with a lot of different lessons that you can take from it. So when I first arrived in New York City in my 20s, for those of you who've heard this story before, I had this dream of living in New York in my 20s, and so it was one of my first experiences with manifestation, bringing this dream to life, getting a job offer without knowing anyone in the city. And I put in so much effort to visualize what it would be like and to do the emotional work and the practical work to get a job offer in New York City. And I finally did. And I had to put together all the pieces of getting an apartment there. And, like there's just so much involved, especially when you're 25 years old, to learn about moving to a big city all alone like that. And so I did it, lo and behold. And the months getting there were just this, like, I don't know, wash of all different kinds of conversations and brokers and payments and like contracts being signed. And I finally got to my apartment after having to arrive in the city. I'd gotten a notice once I originally found my first apartment that it didn't end up being the one that I signed on for. I got a notice a few weeks before I moved to New York that that apartment had been like overtaken by bed bugs and they would need to fumigate the building. It wouldn't be livable anymore. So I would need to find a new apartment when I touched down the morning I moved to New York City. So I had my suitcase with me and I arrived early in the morning on a red-eye flight to New York all by myself. And I remember sitting in like a bagel shop waiting for the broker's office to open. And when it did, I went with a broker. We toured like 3 to 5 different apartments that morning, chose one, signed, sent over the payment, met the landlord, got the keys, and that was like my place. Like I was there in New York City all alone, having just signed a lease on a place to live. And I remember sitting down once the landlord left and showed me around and walked down, the 4 flights of stairs in my little old walk-up building, and I closed the door behind him and I sat down on my suitcase, the only thing that was in my apartment at the time, and I just cried. And I was like so overwhelmed with all these emotions of being both so excited to have realized my dream and be living in New York City, like what? But then also on the other hand, really feeling the weight of I'm thousands of miles away from my family, from my friends. It's winter, I'm here alone, I'm cold, I don't even know where the heat is in my building. I don't even know where to go get lunch or how to go get lunch. Like I don't know like where I am in this city really. Like it was so new. And so there was that big feeling of just the receiving of the dream, but also like so much with that. And so ever since then, I have recognized that familiar feeling at different times throughout my life where you feel both so excited and then also like just so much as well. And so I think that's the work of receiving, is like in that moment, I could have been like, this is a bad idea. And I could have gone home. I could have gotten a flight back to Seattle, Washington and just gone home. I could have self-sabotaged out of it. I could have canceled my job. I could have blown up a lot of different things in that moment. But the work of receiving is to be able to sit with those emotions, to feel them, to actually process them and let them move through you, and then to keep going towards the life of your dreams. So that's a little story to illustrate what this can look and feel like. And now let's talk about some of both the mindset and practical pieces of receiving.